Coming up on Green Bay Nation, in a snow globe on Thanksgiving, the Packers take down the Dolphins before a Thursday night date in Detroit. All that and more next on Green Bay Nation. Hello and welcome back to Green Bay Nation. I'm Lauren Helbrecht. Joining me to chat everything Packers, he's a Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press-Gazette, Ryan Wood, and he's a radio host for 107.5 and 1400 The Fan, Marcus Eversole. It is officially December, so I'm allowed to ask, eggnog, yes or no?
Meh. That's my opinion.
With bourbon? Yes.
Just in general?
I'm in on bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the question?
That's not what we're talking about.
If it's eggnog, it's got to be bourbon.
All right. I'm personally just a fan of straight up eggnog, and a grocery store hates to see me come in December. That's all I have to say. I love eggnog.
Why haven't you brought any in for us yet?
All right, well, stop complaining. The
saying.
Packers are winning, so you can't be complaining, right? They beat the Dolphins on Thanksgiving 30-17. Jordan Love finishes that game with pretty solid stats. 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's the second straight game without a pick. Starting with you, Marcus, do you think they're turning a corner when it comes to Love's ball protection?
Absolutely. You look at it, Jordan Love since the bye week hasn't really made any bad decisions. I mean, he got away with one against the 49ers, but the one interception he threw since the bye week was a bad ball. Now, they all count the same. He just overthrew Tucker Kraft, overshot him, and it got picked off in Chicago. But you look at Jordan Love's season, he's had 4 games this year with a passer rating over 100. 3 of them have been the 3 games since the bye week. He is playing his best ball this season, and frankly, these last 3 weeks, he's looked a lot like the Jordan Love who was red hot down the stretch last season, and that's incredibly exciting for the Packers.
Can we just call it what it is? This is a quarterback who can be an incredibly confusing quarterback to track, right? Just when you think that, okay, he's not going to throw interceptions anymore, he starts this season, he can't get it through a game without a pick, just when you think that's who he is, he turns the corner since the bye, and his one interception was to a wide-open tight end. It was a great decision, just a bad throw. I think that Jordan Love himself is still trying to figure out who he wants to be, and who he wants to be is a big play quarterback because he's got the big arm, and he knows that. There's absolute confidence that he can make every throw, and he goes into every play wanting to maximize that talent that he has. But the other part of it is finding completions and being able to get the easy yards and take what the defense is giving you, and it's going to be a balance for a young quarterback to figure that out. I think we're seeing Jordan Love kind of sift through how to best balance the two. But until he does, it's going to be kind of confusing. What he is, though, is very talented, and he's a guy you can go win with.
Speaking about balance, how about Josh Jacobs' production in this Dolphins game? He had, let me look, I wrote them down, 19 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown, plus 74 yards in receiving. So that's a 5th straight game of over 100 yards from scrimmage. He's obviously the motor of the Packers offense right now, but can he keep this up?
Maybe a Freudian slip. If you gave Josh Jacobs 43 carries, I'm sure he wouldn't mind, and I think he could handle it if anybody could. He is a machine, and honestly, I think this is kind of why the Packers signed him. Aaron Jones was a phenomenal player. We know what he meant to the locker room, dual threat running back, all those things. The Packers wanted Jones back, but there was a line they had to draw when it was too much for them when it came to the price tag. So they decided they had to move on from Jones. They brought in Josh Jacobs, younger, bigger, theoretically more durable. We all understand football's a physical sport. Injuries can happen to anybody. There's no guarantee. If you had a label that said, I can't get hurt, everybody would want you. You'd make more money. That's not how it goes. But with Josh Jacobs, you just look at the build, 5'10", 2 1/4, the battering ram that he is. I think what you're seeing now in the red zone is kind of what they envisioned when they signed him. He's just a physical back, always moving forward. And while Aaron Jones was great, nothing bad to say about him. Not that he wasn't tough. I just feel like this entire offense has taken on the play style of Josh Jacobs. And honestly, that's probably the most encouraging thing if you're thinking about this team making a deep playoff run. This Packers team is tougher than Packers teams in years past, and Josh Jacobs is a big reason why.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs might not have had the 43 carries against the Dolphins, but he had 49 touches in 5 days between 2 games. Spoiler alert, Aaron Jones never did that. Now, Aaron Jones, if you just pick one game on an island to go into, Aaron Jones' burst, his big playability, he might be the back you pick for one game. But when it comes to the course of a season, there's no question that you're taking Josh Jacobs. I asked Matt LaFleur, how short's the list of running backs in the league that can go 49 touches in 5 days in 2 games. He said probably just one. I'd say maybe Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry as well, but that's not off by much. I mean, no more than 3. Josh Jacobs is in the upper echelon of backs, and most importantly, he's a guy that you'd go into every week, knowing, especially this week against Detroit. Thursday, not the extended weekend. It's not going to be a problem. Josh Jacobs said, give me all the carries you want.
And he plays with something to prove. He knows that he didn't live up to his potential in Vegas, and I'd say that's a lot to do with the team, but he came into Green Bay wanting a fresh start, and he's running like he has something to prove.
You know what it is he didn't get a lot of these opportunities in Vegas. This is why this type of game is why he signed with the Packers, to have a division title on the line potentially, to go up against the best and have a chance to win. It just wasn't these opportunities. Now he gets it.
All right, well, when we come back on Green Bay Nation, the Packers have won 7 of their last 8 games. Their only loss was to the NFC North leading Lions. As Green Bay heads to Detroit for Thursday Night Football, can they prove they're better than the last game? That's next. Welcome back to Green Bay Nation. I'm Lauren Helmbrecht alongside Marcus Eversole and Ryan Wood. So Green Bay is sitting at 9-3 going into Week 14, and yet somehow they're 3rd place in the division, probably because they haven't beat the Vikings and they haven't beat the Lions. Those teams are both on a tear, but this week the Packers have a chance to get one back. They're facing off against the Lions in Detroit on Thursday night, the 3rd game in 12 days for the Packers. Ryan, why are the Packers a different team now than when they lost to the Lions a few weeks ago?
You know, they had 411 yards in that first game, 150 more than the Lions. Defensively, they held the Lions to 17 points. That's the second fewest the Lions have scored all season. The fewest was 16 against the Bucs, week 2 in a loss, their only loss. Xavier McKinney was asked, defensively, you feel like you're better prepared to go against this Lions team? He said, honestly, feel pretty good about the first time. So they were 4-12, the Lions on 3rd down. So a lot of good things. It just, you can't have the pick 6 before half. You got to stay out of your own way.
Well, they had 10 penalties in that first game too, Ryan. I mean, I think we'd both agree coming out of that game against the Lions the first time, the Lions thoroughly beat the Packers, but the Packers beat themselves more than anything. The pick 6 before halftime by Jordan Love changed everything. They also got penalized 10 times. They did not handle the elements well. The Lions did, crazily enough. And I think, you know, so far since then, they've cleaned up a lot of the things that went wrong in that game.
And also, they're probably not going to be playing in the rain because it's an indoor game for this one. All right, so Marcus, I'll start with you on this one. When Aiden Hutchinson went down for the Lions early in the year, they morbidly probably hoped that was the worst injury they were going to deal with. And then, unfortunately, the injury bug has just been attacking the Lions. This past game, they lost 4 players in the span of one matchup. Kind of a mean question, but can the Packers exploit the Lions' injuries?
Absolutely they can, and they should. Specifically on the defensive side of the ball, the Lions' front 7 has been ravaged. Now, the worst injury was undoubtedly the Aiden Hutchinson injury. There's no doubt about that, but you're right. They haven't stopped there. At the time Aiden Hutchinson was lost for the season, he was the odds-on favorite to win NFC Defensive Player of the Year, so that's a huge loss. But you just look at that front 7. They're without Levi Onwuzurike, Marcus Davenport, Zach Pascal, and they're without 3 linebackers, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, and Malcolm Rodriguez. You look at those guys alone, that could be a quality starting front 7 for a lot of NFL teams. All those guys are out. You're looking at 4 guys they just signed within the last week who could be on the field Thursday night against the Packers. Right now, if you're just looking at the Packers offense against that injury-ravaged Lions defense, I don't see a whole lot of resistance. I think the Packers offense should be flirting with 30 points, and then we'll talk about the other side of the ball.
All right, so there's a big matchup against 2 players that will probably never be on the field at the same time, but still, 2 of the best secondary in Xavier McKinney and Kirby Joseph. Ryan, what should we expect?
Well, for one, you got one safety with a reputation of being one of the best ball hawks in the league, and also a player that you take out your knees in Kirby Joseph. So the football gods owe us one here. Tucker Kraft said this week, if I get my hands on Kirby Joseph playing football, because he's taken out, in Tucker Kraft's words, some of his brothers, some tight ends around the league, and he had a dirty hit 2 years ago, 2022 in Detroit on Romeo Doubs, high ankle sprain. So it's the good and the bad with Kirby Joseph. Xavier McKinney, this is a great opportunity for him to come out on a big stage, prime time. He's tied with Kirby Joseph, 7 interceptions, most in the NFL. He's third in interception return yards, over 100. If he can take one to the house, you start picking up some serious steam when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year award. These two safeties are going to be your first-team All-Pro safeties. These are the two best safeties in the league this season. Who can differentiate themselves and make that play is going to be very interesting to see.
Also, Kirby Joseph has a history against the Packers. He's played 4 games against the Packers. He has 4 picks against the Packers. He picked off Aaron Rodgers 3 times in one season a couple years ago. But Ryan's right, he is dirty. So number 31 is a dirty one. But don't forget about 32. He's dirty too. Brian Branch. Just keep that in mind.
You got to make a Christmas song about that.
I should actually do that. Note to self.
All right, that's what we're going to work on during the break. And when we come back, the Packers are familiar with a Thunder Lightning running back duo, but now they're about to face off against Sonic and Knuckles. We're heading to the Green Bay locker room to hear how the team's prepping for the Lions running backs. The Packers know a thing or two about running back duos. For a time, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon were a true Thunder and Lightning pair. But since then, the RB room has changed, and now it's Josh Jacobs all the way. Meanwhile, in Detroit, they have their own RB pair that the Packers know they really have to prep for. It's time to go in the zone with Cammie Zaire.
Well, a majority of Detroit's success over the last couple of years has been predicated on the run game. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, the only running back duo in NFL history with 10 or more touchdowns each in consecutive seasons. So the Packers know come Thursday, those two, they're going to be a point of emphasis.
You know, Gibbs is a great running back. The offense really start with him, really, honestly. You know, he can do everything, receive, you know, in and out runner, can do stretch, duo plays. So we got to have all hands on deck, you know, with Gibbs. And then Montgomery, he's a great compliment to him. He's just he can do everything also. But he's been great, you know, since he got into the league when he was with the Bears. So I got a lot of respect for him too.
You got to stop the run no matter who you play. Like I said, those guys, this particular team, Detroit, I mean, they got 2 guys, like you said, that can really go. You know what I mean? 2 different styles of running, 2 different styles of schemes that they use. So we got to be tied into both of those guys. Each of them are very special. You know what I mean? They run hard. They run behind their pass. So we got to do a better. We got to do a great job of just playing level football and running our feet on tackles.
The last time Green Bay saw this tandem was over there at Lambeau Field just about a month ago. A combined 28 carries, nearly 150 yards on the ground, and over 5 yards per carry. So something needs to change for the Packers to have success on Thursday. Guys, with what you've seen over the last couple weeks and this stretch of success, does anything give you confidence that the Packers will be able to stop those two?
Thank you, Cam. It's time now for Q&A with Green Bay. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, known as Sonic and Knuckles because they have super-like powers. I don't know if that's the real reason. Do you think the Packers can stop them?
Not really, and I feel like I should. So the run defense has been a lot better the last couple weeks. They've given up, in the last 2 games, 30 carries for 83 yards to opposing running backs, and they've played some pretty good running backs. Gibbs and Montgomery are the best 1-2 punch in the NFL right now. It's a true 1A and 1B situation there. And Jahmyr Gibbs is the kind of guy that just scares you. I don't know how else to put you. Terrifies you. I mean, he could go 83 yards on one play, and suddenly the numbers are going to look a whole lot different. And he's the lightning to Montgomery's thunder. Montgomery has 11 rushing touchdowns on the year. This is a great backfield. It's a really, really tough matchup for the Packers' run defense.
Until this Packers defensive line shows that it's really fully grasped this new 4-3 scheme, it's going to be something to monitor every week. And so much in the past, week by week, we've mentioned the pass rush. But here comes the real test. And this is when you move to 4-3, you thought, okay, the Lions, they're the team you're going to be a lot in base. You load up the box. Can this Packers defensive line take it to the Lions offensive line and win in the trenches against the run? It's a big question of this game, and it's something that the Packers defensive line really needs to get their feet under them and show that they've grasped this new system going forward in the stretch run.
And if you want to hear more from Cam, join him in Cam's Corner on Sunday mornings during Green and Gold Game Day to learn more about winning a free stay at the Legacy Hotel. All you got to do is scan the QR code on your screen and vote who you think will have the best fantasy football week. One vote gives you a chance to win. When we come back, it's time for Challenge or No Challenge presented by Bayside Machine Corporation. Will the guys agree with my predictions or will the flags be thrown? You have to wait and see. Time now for Challenge or No Challenge presented by Bayside Machine Corporation here on Green Bay Nation. I make a prediction. If the guys agree, nothing happens. If they disagree, the flags hit the floor like Matt LaFleur. You ready to go?
Absolutely.
We've already discussed how Josh Jacobs is the motor for this Packers team. They've played 3 games in 12 days. Challenge or No Challenge, Jacobs touchdown.
No challenge. I mean, right now he's doing it every week. He's their go-to guy in the red zone. However, he did already hit his season-long prop of over 7.5 rushing touchdowns. So, to me, I don't really care at this point, but I do think he scores.
Only 7.5. Huh?
I know.
That
exactly.
seems low. You know what also seemed low? 2 weeks ago right now, Josh Jacobs had 4 rushing touchdowns. That never made sense. The Packers have found something in the red zone with Josh Jacobs. He's got 7 now. He's going to have double digits by the end of this season. I think he gets one Thursday night, no challenge.
All right, so in this game, Ryan mentioned earlier in the show the importance of the offensive line of Detroit versus the Packers defensive line. The Packers got to Tua multiple times in that Dolphins game. The Lions defense has been really injured. Challenge or no challenge, total of more than 6 sacks.
Combined. I will challenge that. I feel like both of these offenses are really good at scheming up their quarterback not getting sacked. Now, last year on Thanksgiving, Rashawn Gary got to Jared Goff 3 times. But right now, the Packers, Jordan Love specifically, is the best quarterback in the league at getting rid of the ball and not getting sacked. The Lions' D-line up front is ravaged by injury. I'm going to say fewer than 6 sacks.
I'm also going to challenge that. Jordan Love's been sacked 10 times all season. That's an incredible number. It's part Jordan Love, it's part Packers offensive line pass protection. But on the other side, Marcus went through the Lions' defensive problems. They don't have the horses to get after Jordan Love. I don't see anything for this Packers defensive line that's showed me so far that they can get after Jared Goff. So I don't see a lot of sacks in this game.
All right, I don't need a lot from either of you. I just want the answer. Challenge or no challenge, 1-score game.
Yes, 1-score game, no challenge.
Absolutely.
All right, when we come back, we're making some green and bold predictions about the Packers-Lions Week 14 matchup. Time to wrap up the show here on Green Bay Nation and get green and bold. A rematch, Packers versus Lions, this time in the Motor City. Who do you have winning?
My prediction is that this is going to be one of those games we look back at and say either team could have won. It's going to be a close game. And as big as this game is, it's not going to be as big as the one in January when they meet for a 3rd time. I'm going to take the Lions at home, though.
The reason the Packers lost last time in Lambeau Field had nothing to do with not having talent. They have the talent to go against the Lions. 3rd game in 12 days, the Lions have 18 players on injured reserve. The Packers have 4. None of them would be considered starters at this point. This is when attrition really hits in the most. Because of that, I'm taking the Packers.
I'm also taking the Packers for the same reason. I think the Lions are too injured on the defensive side, and Green Bay's looking pretty healthy on the offense. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Green Bay Nation. For Marcus Eversole and Ryan Wood, I'm Lauren Helbrecht. The Packers take on the Lions for Thursday Night Football.